Hi, Haunted the Truth here. It's just me and Josh, and we're going to talk about simulations. Now, we're not any experts on them whatsoever. If we are all living in a simulation, then all rules of the universe and stuff are kind of just, anything's possible.
Well, it's like the best way to start this off, the only way I can think to start this off, right, is with something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He says, like, so you think, he's like, he definitely thinks that we live in a simulation. It's like one of the most probable sort of outcomes of why we're here. And he thinks, basically, think about what we've done. You know, we've made games like Sims, and we've made alternate realities, and yeah, but what we might be a simulation from another species that's evolved, and they might be a simulation from another species that's evolved, and this might go on, and we might be like the 5th, 6th, 7th iteration of a simulation of a simulation of a simulation, because we've started doing it, and we don't really know really completely,
like when
what goes on.
Play The Sims.
Yeah, well, they've got little, even though it's little things we programmed, they've got little tellies on with little things like going, and like eventually we'll get to the point where we can program stuff, and those things will know what they're doing, and then they'll be able to program stuff, and then we'll go, well, shit, that is exactly. Well, we've done it now, what, in about maybe, not even like 500 years. We've got AIs now that people are worrying about.
But I mean, the viewers are probably sat here thinking, this is Haunting the Truth. Like, what is this to do with the paranormal? And it's got everything to do with the paranormal. And the reason being is because anything goes. So ghosts, demons, poltergeists, witches, vampires, the lot could potentially exist if it's a simulation.
What I think about in the simulation is with the thing I sing in the poltergeist house, because that fits nowhere scientifically, logically, or with any explanation in my brain or anywhere within science, that is something that my brain goes, is that something in the simulation?
What, like
that they don't know about? Is it a glitch?
Like a glitch in the Matrix?
Are ghosts things that are something that's going wrong with the simulation? And the reason everyone around the world has seemed to have seen something is because we're all in it.
Well, Josh, and it's
the Bermuda Triangle. Is that something to do with the simulation going wrong?
You ready? So, do you remember back when you had tapes? Some of the viewers may not know what a tape is.
I remember what a tape is, and that's how old I am. So
a tape used to record. Used to record things onto something called a tape, and you used to get DV tapes. So this wouldn't be going onto an SD card, it'd be going on a DV tape. Anyway, basically, if I went over that tape, even a videotape, and you recorded over it, and you recorded over it, and you recorded over it several times, the data is never lost. And
really?
Yeah, really. So I had a DV tape once, and I was recording on it, and I filmed stuff on it, let's say the 3rd time, and I went to go watch it back on the PC, and stuff that I'd recorded on the 1st time was coming through, right? So that means data is never truly gone, and data can leak. Data can leak back through. So if this is a simulation, what happens if these spirits or whatever are data leaks?
Even if we are in a simulation and we find out, there'll still be people that didn't.
There's no way that we can ever find out that we're in a simulation. It's impossible.
That's what you say. It might be like the Truman Show. We might just get to the end of the barrier. I mean, we've just found out as well, scientists have just figured out that the Big Bang may not be exactly how we all got here, and scientific community is up in arms.
I like how you're saying that word.
I know. Sorry, yeah, I trimmed my beard.
Makes you look philosophical.
I know, yeah. Well, you have to. This is why we've done this for billions of years, Rodney. So yeah, I think it's if the Big Bang Theory, not the program, could be possibly completely wrong, and that's all we've learned for how long, it would be like, well, what then have we got to find out in its place? How then do we figure out to find out? But then you're like,
well, let's see the evidence that we might.
What happens if we just were loaded in all of a sudden?
Let's think about the evidence that people say that this is a simulation, and there's several things on the interwebs.
We've got to find a big clock just in space. That
so one of them is like glitches, like you say. So there's that video with the girl with the ball,
Yeah.
And we'll show a clip now as we talk about this. So if you're thinking about this, she goes past this area, and
you can
then
see it in the camera. You can see the camera.
Yeah. And then it just like sort of just blips into place.
And then there's one with, I don't know if it's a woman or a man, and they're in an airport and someone's filming, and you see them just behind, but just as somebody walks past, they disappear. And it could be that they walked with them just at the right time, at the right camera angle, just to all of a sudden at the right pace to just disappear like a magician, but
or it's edited.
I don't think, no, because it's like an old video. It's nothing, it's literally just, you see it, it's the clip. I'll send it to Mark because he hasn't seen it yet. But honestly, it's like, where the bloody hell did that person go? And if they did, that's some phenomenal timing.
Let's talk about quantum physics with the simulation. I'm not going to try and explain quantum physics. I barely know it myself, but
that could be made up.
It states that, that a photon is basically in two places and the same place at the same time,
but
at the same moment.
Yeah.
And Schrodinger's cat, the cat is with the poison in the box, is both dead and alive until it's checked. Yeah. It's not literal, but I've taken that to a grander scale. Okay. What happens if we are in a simulation because of this quantum thing where it states that things don't exist until we observe them? What happens in video games, Josh? It renders in. If there's a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? It's more to the point, if a tree falls in the woods but nobody there to view it, did the tree fall at all? If we're in a simulation.
That's how. Who's these people that are there that haven't even heard it? These people don't even exist either. I can't believe that. Yeah, you've just taken out just a tree in the wood. What tree? What woods? Where are we? Who am I? Because there's things I've seen videos of birds that are in the sky and there's nothing around them, and then all of a sudden they're stopped like this. They're not like, floating on the air. They're literally like that. And then I think some bloke either pokes it, gets on a ladder or gets on a car and pokes it with a broom and then all of a sudden it starts going again, and you're like, why the bloody hell did that just pause in time? It's always birds. I don't get it with birds.
Maybe
and then they were in a...
I don't know.
I'll show that as well.
I keep thinking about, pocket dimensions and stuff, and saying all these things that happen when stones come at us are all pocket dimensions, but how do we know the stone just doesn't blip into space-time because of the simulation?
Remember the one when we're in
it's a bit out there. I know what you're all thinking.
Remember the one though when we were in the oldest stone when they knocked down his Baragurney, and that stone just went on. We got it on camera and it just appears on me.
Yeah, it just appears in frame.
It just appears. Yeah, it's not like it's been thrown. It just drops out of
it appears on frame. In frame.
It's the weirdest thing.
So that's just popped into existence
that
in that moment.
Strange because we've had stuff thrown at us, and even then you got a massive stone thrown and it come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that one, the fact that we had it and it literally appears on the screen in frame, not from anywhere, just drops from my side. You're like, what the hell? It was so subtle and so.
So that's where I try and link the simulation to that. Saying always, if we're in a simulation, anything's possible, Josh.
Like the whistles we always hear,
anything's possible.
Why do we hear whistles?
There's another theory that states that time is not like space-time, not time as in the clock, because that's a different story altogether. But space-time, so if I was to draw a line on the ground, okay, and I say up to here, I know you can't see it on the camera, but if I say up to here is where we are at this position, this is the past, so this is earlier, and all the way back there somewhere is, Second World War.
Yeah.
Right? People say that we're only at this position here, but there's another theory out there that says that time goes in both directions infinitely, past and present, and we're just moving into the present. Now, the reason I've mentioned this...
So there's no future, we're just moving into the present.
Yeah, we're moving into the present, but the present's already set. As much as it is the past. But if it is set in both directions, then that would comply again to it being a computer simulation.
It's like we're just loading in the next part of the game.
We're just loading into the next part of the game. Elon Musk, love him, hate him, okay? I know different people have different views, but he did state that, I think it was with 98% chance that we are in a simulation.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And a very small percent chance that we are not. And my friend said to me that even if we are in one, there's nothing you could do about it anyway.
Yeah, the reason I thought about this as well is because my mother was talking to me about something earlier and shit on her phone. Now, it's really weird. She was like, I think we're in a simulation, Josh. And I'm like, why? She's like, I've been texting people, but I seem to have replied before I've received their text. Yeah. And I'm like, it must be a glitch. It must be a glitch with the Apple timing or whatever it is. But I was just like, this is what I said to her. I'm like, if we are in a simulation, what's to stop someone from turning it off? And we're just gone. Also said, what if someone goes, right, we've had enough of this simulation now, so we'll just program in a 90-mile meteor just to wipe out, and then we'll just start again. It was to say that the dinosaurs weren't the end of that simulation.
Who's to say that they didn't patch the simulation, and we lived the pre-patch, and that's why we remembered the Monopoly Man to have a monocle.
Oh my God!
Because he was on the old patch.
The Mandela Effect is what. So this is going to be the Mandela Effect 2.0 patch. What? Pardon. So yeah. Also yeah. Oh my God! This is why I like doing these ones, because we've not spoke about this. This isn't pre-sorted like most of them are. And when you start coming up with drone theories,
yeah.
I'm like, that Mandela one's really good, because there's so many things that people Mandela themselves.
It was all like we lived the beta, and now it's like they were like, oh yeah, let's not have him with the monocle.
Yeah, we're like, no, actually it's better without. Yeah. Oh my God. And also, as humans, we just always want to find what we are, and I don't think, no matter how good our technology is, I don't think we'll ever find out where we came from and what we. The exact, because we've done all this apparently not too long ago. It was, we found like 0.003 seconds.
You know, God could exist though in the simulation.
Well,
in theory.
Well, technically, yeah, but whatever has made us is our God.
Yeah, but they could make a God in the world. You could put anything in.
Well, that's true. There's like also like
I just got a feeling there that one day, like when we like die or something, it just. That they say that everybody sees this white light.
Yeah.
What happens if that's just the computer like shutting down, like like in the Matrix?
Your data buggering off.
Like, and it's just going, and it's like, and then everything goes black, and then suddenly you wake up in a chamber, and they're like, so how did you find the game? That Red Dwarf episode.
Oh my God.
But instead of us being human, we're giant energy blocks.
Oh no! Ooh. What about all the friends and the people you've made? What if they're not real?
They're not. Yeah, no.
Oh my God! It's like Roy from Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and Morty's done a lot on this.
Rick and Morty's done so much. I'm Mr. Frundles.
And so has Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror. Oh, they got some new Black Mirrors coming out soon. Which
I mean, it's not saying that life is simulation. They put that thing in their brain, they go into it, and they don't even realise they're in it. We could be those people now. And the more we're coming to terms with the stuff that's going on in the paranormal realm, the more that things are happening. The more that stuff is sort of becoming more real to us.
Yeah.
And then we're like escaping this bubble.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, fucking, there's only going to be a certain amount of people who are going to watch this. And even people that watch this and believe this stuff, there's going to be most of them that will probably still be like, these two are nutters.
We're not for 1 minute saying that we believe in that we're in a simulation. It's just a question. It's just interesting to talk about.
Something to think about, when
But there's nothing we can do.
Weird.
So, like,
enjoy
at the end of the day, simulation or not, you're in it. You're in life and you're in simulation. You make life what it is. So you can't do anything about it. So live through it. Don't do it. Because some people think, they say to me, oh, so if I was in a simulation, I'd just go around murdering people. Yeah. But it does matter, because you still then have to go to prison in the simulation.
Or deal with the guilt.
Or deal with the guilt in the simulation. So it doesn't matter either way. I think we'll leave it at that. Don't go murdering people if you think this is a simulation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Until next time, hopefully I've got another episode coming out. So me and E.
E and I. I have no idea.
I can't think of anyone.
No, neither know.
We went to we went back to Farley Down Tunnels. So you should look forward to seeing that one. Until next time, thank you. It's starting to rain.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like and share.